Well, hello, folks. It's Ned from Rock 108, another episode of Coffee and Quarantine. Yes, I have my coffee. I'm ready to watch Radar, and I'm hanging out in the studio today. So many bands out there are not able to tour. They're not able to do stuff. They're not able to do anything. This year for live music is just, man, it's just a bummer. And I'm really missing live music. And even though I might be missing the live shows, the bands are really, really missing it, man. And we've got one of our guys that we play here in Rock 108 plenty of times. Their big hit Trials being played currently. Actually, even looking at the way that we're playing things, you're actually playing it right now, which is kind of cool. I've got Dustin Bates from Starset happening. He's, funnily enough, hanging out in a rest stop parking lot.
That's it. How's it going?
Good, man. So, well, I won't try to dive too much into your private life, but where are you going and how come you had to pull over? I mean, obviously, don't text and drive, but where are you headed?
Yeah, what if I just was driving down the road talking to you?
What's up, man?
I'm headed from Columbus, which is where I live, to Salem, Ohio, which is where I'm from. I have a bar there, and it's a restaurant bar. And we are sort of coming out of some of the restrictions, and I've been doing some of the managing for it. So it's been a fun project for the last couple years I've been doing, and built a patio in the last couple weeks.
Oh my gosh.
And numerous other things. So
wait, this is all news to me now. What bar restaurant do you own in Columbus, Ohio?
Well, it's in Salem, Ohio,
Salem,
and it's
Ohio.
called the Foundry. Yeah, it's called the Foundry, and it's somewhat of like a barcade meets a little industrial vibe, and the bar area is kind of, like I said, it's like it fits the post-industrial aspect of Salem, and kind of run it like Cheers.
Oh my gosh, that's cool. So Kelsey Grammer's going to show up at some point, right?
That would be good for things. Good for business, I would say.
So you said barcade, which you're speaking my language. I'm wearing my old school Nintendo shirt today. What is your favorite, let's just say, arcade game in your barcade?
Well, it's a good question.
Okay.
There's this game that no one likes that I love. I think I'm the only person that ever plays it. It's Police Trainer, and it's do you know that one?
I do. It's the light gun game, right?
Yeah. I love that game. I'm like a master on it. And I think I'm the only person I've ever seen play it, and I don't understand why it's not super popular, but whatever. I think it's because you're not killing people, you're just training, and it's not that fun for people.
You're just shooting targets and stuff, which is a ton of fun. I mean, and it's one of those games that you just have to keep jamming quarters in, like, oh, I can do a little bit better. I can do a little bit better. That's Police Trainer in a nutshell, man, every single time.
Yep.
So you're staying busy. I had no idea that you owned a restaurant. So how is that balancing act? Well, obviously, it's kind of interesting now because not only are you dealing with a band being in quarantine, but with the rules that you have to deal with, especially in the restaurant business. This has to be an interesting time for you.
It is. It's definitely been a challenge ramping into that. I live, it's not like Columbus. It's a small town too, so it's a different mentality there, and so that's been a challenge. And we were closed for 3 straight months, or pretty much closed. There was a little bit of takeout going on here and there, so that sucked, especially since the band hasn't been on tour for over 4 months. The bar's closed. It's been a fun ride.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And well, I mean, you get plenty of time, I guess, to kind of focus on Police Trainer at that point. I mean, that's kind of cool.
I've beat the game.
Okay, good. I would hope you would.
But I've also been trying to make this bar. It's fun to build I built like a patio. I've improved some things there, and now I'm trying to get back away from it here soon, so I can focus on writing. Which is what I was doing last month. So that's what I'm trying to get back to.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, obviously, you guys got your huge song here on Rock One Away by the name of Trials, which is fantastic. We've been playing the
Oh,
Jesus out
thank
of
you.
it. And, this summer we were supposed to be heading to big rock festivals. Even this weekend was supposed to be like Rock Fest in Cadott, Wisconsin, or Rock USA, or any of those places. And you guys were at Rock USA last year at Oshkosh. And what was interesting is that that was the first time that I saw you guys where you kind of changed the look of the of your costuming on stage. The first couple times we saw you, you had like the cool space suits and such, and this time it was more like a post apocalyptic type of thing. So, what kind of inspired that? What was like kind of the album cycle that kind of inspired into that different stage setting?
Yeah, well, there's a novel, a first novel that things were based off of,
Mm-hmm.
and inside of it, within the narrative, the future was changed, and now we're exemplifying a different future at the hands of a different technology. So the next novel will come out, and that will explain it. It's still the same universe, but it's with a different future, and it seems to be more and more prophetic, I guess.
Mm.
Uh, and a trials is it works within that, and it's kind of crazy how the timing has worked, because when I write the songs, I definitely like to make them apply to our own lives and give them, something that people can relate to in general. And that one has worked out to be more relatable than I could have imagined.
Mm. Yeah, especially today's world. I mean, just kind of how it's interestingly changing every single day. And, obviously, coronavirus aside and all that stuff, man, it can get interesting to kind of watch. You just go on social media and you see mask people, anti-mask, all this stuff, and it's just like after a minute, it just kind of gives you a headache of like, ugh,
Yeah,
you know,
it really does.
ugh. And
It's oh, I'm
okay,
just yeah, it's very, there's science, and then there's the analysis of science, and then there's politics intertwined within all of it.
yeah, yeah. And no side is right or wrong, and it can get frustrating,
Yeah,
especially nowadays. I mean, with the masking and mask and everything like that too. I mean, thanks to social media and the media, the way it kind of handles things right now, that's all you see because there's no music being made, there's no albums or tours happening, there's no movies being put into movie theaters. So it's like this is like the main focus, and sometimes it's like, okay, we got it, but at the same time, you kind of want a brief moment to sit back and drink coffee with a rock star, for example.
well, yeah, I'm starting to think sports were more important than we thought. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sports and sports helps us sort of uh, channel that competition and that tribalism into something that's not super damaging.
Yeah.
With sports, we also used to have like the Cold War, which was good for people. They could, in a weird way, we had multiple decades where we could just look at this other group and hate on that, and that wasn't healthy. But when
Yeah.
it came to the tribalism that's sort of built into our nature, it allowed us. We were always focusing over there, and right now we're looking inward as
Mm-hmm.
a people, and we're battling that, and our there aren't many forces trying to for political reasons we're sort of stoking that, so it's getting worse,
Yeah.
and for I think, and also super annoying.
Right. It can get very eye rolly every single day. I just go on to Facebook or Twitter or anything. I just go, ugh, man.
Yeah,
That's why I work in rock radio. So it's like I can just, keep playing music and having fun and talking about a house I'm buying this weekend. Like that's what I like to focus on right now because there's a lot of other people focusing on that part and
yeah,
have fun with that, I suppose. Now you mentioned sports. I'm not much of a sports guy, but I love what you just said about the fact of how important now for even our mental being what sports do for us. Even, you can root for your favorite team, but sometimes people just want to root for their favorite team to take them apart from all this madness that the world is right now.
yeah. I'm not super into sports either, but I definitely am seeing things like that would it's just a healthy way to satiate that natural tendency to
Mm,
because it's just built in our DNA, this natural tribalism and competition.
Yeah.
So we're channeling it right now in super lame ways.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I never would have thought, again, not a sports guy, whatever, whatsoever, but I remember I'm seeing like NASCAR. They were doing like digital races using like a certain PC game. I'm like, well, as a nerd kid who grew up with like original Nintendo and Atari and stuff, I'm like, it seems like it's kind of come full circle at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you're working on the restaurant, staying busy, and obviously, you said you're kind of working on new music and stuff too. What's kind of the story with that? What's the progress? What's kind of happening?
Yeah, working on lots of media,
Mm-hmm.
and also some Starset music. I'm always sort of tinkering with that, but always using my time to look ahead
Yeah.
at that. But uh, I'm I can't wait. Within the next maybe week or so, I'm really going to be able to triple down on that.
Awesome. So you already have stuff already in the bucket, man, like ready just to kind of focus and push forward and not build a patio
Yeah,
because the patio's done.
exactly.
So you're in Columbus, Ohio. I have spent many, many times in Columbus. I'm originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I went to college in the
Oh, cool.
Detroit area. So Ohio, as you know, us Michigan, our former Michiganders, we're supposed to hate you. I think that's what we're supposed to do, right? Ohio is supposed
I
to hate
think so.
Michigan,
Yeah.
and Michigan. I don't
Yep.
know. It's a sports rivalry. I mean, tell you, man. Anytime you went to like Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Ohio State was playing, that was an interesting place to
Oh,
be.
yeah. In Columbus, they cross out every letter M in around the entire city. So yeah,
Are you
it's
serious? I
it's a
had no
mutual thing.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh. You know, again, not a sports guy, but I just love watching the rivalry and how people get so passionate about those
Seriously.
certain things. And again, that's something that's not going to be able to happen this year. Even here in Iowa, Iowa State versus University of Iowa, people are pretty damn passionate about that too when they see those rivalries come together and then just like the
Yep.
whole state explodes for a minute. And thinking that that isn't going to occur this year is just kind of a weird thing to think about.
I know. It's. I even like, I'm not super into sports, but I love going to sporting events and
Yeah, man.
experiencing that energy. It's a lot of fun.
That's I mean, WWE wrestling. People ask me all the time, like, yo, you love wrestling. I'm like, I don't like the actual thing. Like, I don't know who's angry at who and who did this, but I love the passion and the act of it and the marketing of it because it's just like this big superhero comic book coming to life on TV of a bunch of dudes throwing each other around. I'm like, this is entertaining, man.
Dude, for sure. Now I know you're definitely a dork.
Yeah, see? Falls right under there, man. Hell yeah. Now, I have to point this out because I'm currently working on a tattoo myself on my full arm. I just saw you do this and I'm like, all right, he's got sleeve tattoos. What do you got going on in that arm, man? I kind of want to see if you're able to
Let's
angle
see.
it.
Yeah. So it started with Einstein,
Oh, cool.
if you can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
And my friend did this piece. He drew this piece. It's, three astronauts in the moon or a planet that sort of looks like a alien,
Damn.
even more so upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Got some Star Wars pieces in there, some random space zombies. Nikola Tesla. I don't know if you can see
I do,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Whoops. There's this one, my Carl Saganator.
Saganator. That is cool.
Saganator. Yeah, and just some other things that tie it all together.
Ugh.
Um, yeah, my friend Sausage Walter Frank.
Mm-hmm.
He's on Ink Masters numerous seasons,
Oh, cool.
and yeah, he knocked it out of the park. He's in Vegas.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know of so many artists that are like in the Vegas area and they're all like so like world renowned essentially.
Yeah, I think it's people just a lot of people would plan their vacation and then have a session. You know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh, did I lose your video? Did I lose you?
I got a call, but I think I'm
Oh,
good here.
okay,
Let's
there we
see.
go. We're good. All right.
Someone,
So,
yeah.
I mean, I know you have the whole sleeve, and I just started mine. I have like a kid. It's kind of hard to see with my white balance. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
But it's
super
a kid sitting in
kind
front
of.
of an old school TV playing Nintendo 64, and the whole arm sleeve is going to be that at some point.
Nice.
How long did it take for you to get your full sleeve done? I mean, how many sessions do you even remember?
It was very slow and meticulous,
Yeah,
so I've never
naturally.
added it up, but each piece was somewhere between 5-ish, 6-ish hours, so it
Yeah.
added up.
Yeah, it
Um,
does. But
yeah, it was
you pay
intense.
good money for good work though.
Yep,
And that's
for
the best
sure.
part.
Yeah, I didn't, I could have. I think this arm should just be a bunch of shitty, like I was hungover pieces. I continue to think maybe I should just do it in random cities that we're in, just some little uh, memorabilia piece for
Yeah.
random cities I just walk by a tattoo shop in, just like the shitty arm.
The shitty arm. This is Dustin Bates' shitty arm. Here's the good one.
Yeah,
Pick your poison, man. So,
or maybe it should be just like super cliche pieces, like a Tasmanian devil and a
uh,
some tribal,
yes,
some Asian lettering.
you got to get a flower with mom on it.
Oh, definitely.
Got to have a flower with mom.
Good.
It's funny you
Need to
mentioned
start
tribal.
thinking about this. Yeah.
That's part of what this tattoo is starting to cover. You can see this big black spot.
Nice.
There was a tribal armband that was cool in 2002 that an ex-girlfriend of Ned said, you should get that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. The hell was I thinking, man? I don't know what I was thinking there. So you said Star Wars was on that armband of yours? Or
Yeah, there's a
arm?
couple little things. Yep.
Oh man. So I take it then in that case you're a Star Wars fanatic, I would assume, right?
I'm probably one click under fanatic, but pretty up there. Yeah.
All right. So your favorites, three sets. There's three trilogies in the Star Wars world. Obviously, the prequels, the originals, and of course the sequels. We'll call them that. Which one's your
Yep.
favorite of the nine?
Yeah, it would be. I think it would be crazy not to pick the originals.
Right.
And then the newest are pretty up there, and then
Mm.
obviously the first ones are kind of crap. And uh, but surprisingly, my number two movie to movie, my number maybe two or actually probably three slot goes to Rogue One, because I think
Yeah, dude. Oh,
that
it
was
was so good.
surprisingly awesome.
It
Yeah, my
was really
license
good.
plate actually plays off of that.
No,
So
no
it was
doubt.
yeah, it was so good.
And I wonder if they'll do any more. I mean, obviously we had Solo, a Star Wars story, which was like something they tried to get started with, and it was good idea. It's a fun movie, but
Yeah,
it's not
it
what
wasn't at the
we all
same
love.
level.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't the same level kind of thing like that. And I don't know, Rogue One, I just love the idea of putting those like little side stories. Like if they made a movie of, if you remember something that was in like the late 90s called Star Wars Shadows of the Empire,
Hmm.
it was a book, video game, all that stuff. If they could make that into like either a mini series or a movie of some kind, that'd be just fine.
Yeah. I'm. I still have to listen or watch The Mandalorian.
Oh, dude.
I
Mm,
haven't even watched that,
God.
so I gotta catch up.
Now that you're done with the patio, I
Just move right into that.
just move right into that, man. It's you've seen all the Baby Yoda memes online and everything like that, and they're all true. I mean, it's a fantastic show, and it's done with all these different directors like Taika Waititi, Bryce Dallas Howard, and of course Jon Favreau. And it's something that I think like we finally got the Star Wars show that we wanted, and it just took us a while to get there.
Nice.
So
All right,
give it a
that's
shot.
I'm gonna do it. I'll let you
Okay.
know what I think.
Here I am telling Dustin Bates, hey, go watch TV, damn it. What are you doing?
Now, my buddy from Sahaj from the band Raw,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I write songs with him all the time, and he's always raving about that. So you're the second person, so I gotta dive in.
All right. Well, when you write an autobiography, just be like, remember that weird guy at the radio station told me to watch this Mandalorian show, and it just reinvented my whole life from there on. That's all it. Now, speaking of Raw, I'm glad you dropped that name because those guys recently reunited too.
Yeah, they're working on some new stuff.
Yeah, man. So you say you write with him. When has that happened before, or is there something kind of in the works with that currently?
Yeah, I've written a couple Starset songs with him. Actually, we've been writing forever for my old band, other projects he's had. We get together and we have a pretty cool working thing, and we tend to get some pretty great stuff.
So you're saying that there's going to be a Starset Raw tour at some point in 2021?
I don't know, but there might be I might write on the Raw record. He's definitely writing on the next Starset record. So,
oh, that's cool.
But there could be a tour. Who knows? I'd be down.
I think at this point you'd be down for any kind of touring at this point.
Yes, definitely. I would play an Applebee's at this point.
Well, if you're eating good in the neighborhood, man, you'll be all set for the catering at that point.
Yes, and the diarrhea.
And the diarrhea. This Coffee and Quarantine not sponsored by Applebee's, but if they want to, I mean, you're more than welcome to.
Actually, I just had Applebee's like 2 days ago, so I'm going to redeem them.
Okay, so was it a good meal? Was it good in the neighborhood?
It was pretty decent in the neighborhood, yeah.
Okay, decent. That's what they aim for next. Like, we're pretty decent in the neighborhood. Not the best, but we're getting there.
We're open past 11 in the neighborhood.
That's right. When shit starts to go down in the neighborhood, we're open.
Applebee's better than Taco Bell.
Yeah, all right. See, now you threw the
only marginally. That's
just marginally. I mean, you're at a rest stop right now, so as far as we know, Applebee's is coming back for a revenge.
Now, so good so far. Pretty good so far on the gastrointestinal issues.
Now we've gotten into gastrointestinal issues on this Coffee and Quarantine. This is great, man. I'm just having fun. So
I need to take a sip of the iced coffee. Is that allowable? Iced coffee?
Oh yeah, it's allowable. I also have a glass of water over here that I haven't touched yet, but I do have this Pac-Man mug that has Dunkin' Donuts coffee in it that we have in a Keurig in the studio over there. So we're high class Dunkin' Donuts coffee over here.
Yeah, there's like 3 of those in my hometown, and I realized that there are Dunkin' Donuts cities and there are Starbucks cities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can that's really all I have to say. My hometown is a Dunkin' Donuts city, and Columbus is a Starbucks city, and I travel between the two, and I like both, whatever.
Yeah, you pick your battles when it comes down to it, man. Pick your battles. Yep. You can go, I mean, if you go to like Chicago or something like that, it's Starbucks every single corner you go on. Although, no, you get Dunkin' Donuts here and there in Chicago as well, too, don't you?
I don't know. But it's definitely a Starbucks city.
Yeah, it is. Go to New York or Seattle, too. Same situation. Holy crap. So I know you're hanging out, and I won't try to take up too much more of your time because you're on your way back to Salem, right? You're heading to Salem right now.
Yep.
All right. So what's kind of the future? I mean, like, what else are you guys kind of doing? I mean, I know you just said you're writing music while stuck in quarantine. Have you guys considered doing any of like those digital shows? I've seen Lamb of God do one. I've seen a band called Psycho Stick do one. I've seen all sorts of bands. Have you guys ever considered maybe doing like a live performance on Zoom, essentially?
We're gonna do something that's like a stream. I'm not sure about the whole show thing, like a whole set of songs. It's just underwhelming, is what I've seen from other bands so far. Is it's like pretty lame.
Okay.
And not against them, because we still might do it. So I'm not saying it's no knock on the band. It's this scenario that's lame. Just live shows have all the the immersion of being at a live show, and the energy and the crowd is such a huge component of it.
Yeah.
It's just so flat with streaming it. But at the same time, if we get broke enough, be looking out for that 2020 digital concert.
You're gonna be signing up for Patreon and GoFundMe eventually here, aren't you? I see that coming.
And what's the other one? What the hell is it?
There's
OnlyFans. That's what I'll be signing up for.
There you go. Yeah, you start showing some external pics, and then you'll make your money back pretty quickly there.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it.
Okay, we've already gone through gastrointestinal stuff, OnlyFans, and doing all sorts of stuff. So we'll cut it there.
about 1 month from an OnlyFans account.
Just one. That's gonna be the title of this video. Actually, 1 month from an OnlyFans account. Ned Rock 108 interviews Dustin Reigns. So I'll call it a day here, my friend, dude. It's so awesome to see you. The last time I chatted with you, there was a couple times. One of them was when you guys were performing with Red Sun Rising and Hailstorm. It was at the McElroy Auditorium in Waterloo, Iowa. I know you've done plenty of shows, but do you remember that one at least?
Vaguely. I'm trying to. I usually can find one thing about it that
Mm-hmm.
reminds me. I'm sure if some guy was in the band here, they'd jog my memory, and I'm like, oh, and I could talk about it for 20 minutes. But
Right.
when you're on tour, you hit a stride about week 2 where you're just like waking up. You're like, I don't know where I'm at, and you do your thing.
That's where the call sheet comes in on the tour bus, where you see here's where you are, here's what time you're supposed to be there, go do that thing.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
That was a fun tour with Hailstorm, though.
Yeah, that was a fantastic show, man. That was a ton of fun just to be at.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, dude. So I guess I'll let you wrap it up, my friend. Like, so what's going on with the band? What are we looking forward to in the year 2021? What are we looking forward to now? What you got going on?
Eventually, there'll be a new novel, likely a new comic, lots of new media in the form of videos and such, some live stuff, some reimagined stuff. 2021 will definitely see a new album. So, yeah.
2021 is going to be an absolutely nuts year for music with all these postponed concerts and festivals and albums. Next year is going to be like the redeeming year of music. That is no doubt about it. And you're part of that, man. You are definitely part of that.
Well, I appreciate that. I do know that the bar will be pretty high because everybody has had a chance to really, not just a chance to write, but a chance to reflect. So I think there'll be a lot of great music.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
It'll be a challenge to keep up with the pack.
Yeah, I know. But hey, you lead the pack, my friend. That's what you got to do.
All right.
While practicing police trainer at the Foundry. There you go. Dustin, man, thank you so much, dude. And I appreciate you pulling on over at the rest stop to sit and chat with me real quick. Now, before we call it a day, we have to, in order for me to post this up on rock108.com, we have to take a quick still shot of you and me. So that way we have a picture for the blog. So you can do like a thumbs up. You can just smile in the picture, do something funky. I don't care what you do, but we're going to do that. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. So in 3, I better get my coffee. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah.
All right, there we go. Perfect. All right. Cool.